United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting. This is to advise those present at this meeting of the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school, and high school buildings. The notice has also been mailed to the press of Atlantic City and filed with the municipal clerks of Bass River, Eagleswood, and Little Egg Harbor Township, and the Borough of Tuckerton. Nick, do we need another roll call?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to roll call everybody. Mr. Bartlett?
Here.
Miss Betty?
Here.
Miss Fagan? Mark that. Miss Hannadel?
Here.
Miss Martin?
Here.
Mr. Rossetti?
Here.
Miss Zimmerman?
Here.
Mr. Dalio?
Here.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Here.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, approval of minutes. We need a motion to approve the minutes for the regular session, March 21st, closed session, March 21st.
Motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented on tonight's agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? That motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 6, report of the superintendent. I give you Dr. Nicoli.
Thank you. Does the student council have anything? All right, we're gonna let them go first.
Hello, I'm Johanna Smith, sophomore class vice president, and I'm Katrina Erden, sophomore class treasurer. We are honored to present at the monthly board meeting so that the board members, staff, and public can all hear about the amazing things happening at our high school. The band concert was earlier this month. It was 80s themed this year, and the entire junior high and high school band came together for a wonderful performance conducted by Mr. Majoros. Before spring break, student government hosted our annual Battle of the Classes, which consisted of lunch period competitions and ended with our spring break pep rally. Although it was a tight race, the seniors ended up pulling through with the win in the end. AP tests start next week. We want to wish good luck to all of our students in the advanced placement classes. We also want to thank all of our AP teachers who have been working hard to prepare us for the big day. The freshman class is hosting a fundraiser at Maples on May 3rd. Maples is graciously offering a 15% order of of an order when Pinelands lawn crafts are mentioned. Come out to support. The History Club went to Washington, D.C. this month. They visited the monuments, historical sites, the Smithsonian Museum, the annual cherry blossoms, and even got a chance to witness a real protest for the Ethiopian Tigray conflict. STAR X12 will be held May 10th in the Commons from 6 to 8. This will be a showcase of all the high school and student artistic abilities, including choir, band, drama, and the art and design students. A $5 donation will be collected at the door for art scholarships. Lastly, the latest edition of the Cat Chronicles has been released. The online school newspaper can be found on our school website. This concludes our report for this month. Have a great night.
All right, that was wonderful. I have a couple other things. So Sit with the Soup was held on April 12th. It was a Zoom, and I want to thank those in attendance for that meeting. I want to thank the Budget Committee for all their hard work on building our budget for the upcoming school year. And I'd also like to thank the entire board for all of your ongoing support, communication, and collaboration. A local regionalization meeting was held on April 13th. This was members of the community of Little Egg and Pinelands that were willing to come and put some questions together for the larger group and for Porzio. So thank you to all those that were in attendance. It was a nice meeting and some great questions were posed. The regionalization committee, which exists of all the school districts, will take place on May 2nd at 5 o'clock. And Porzio will be addressing all of the questions that were asked at this point. There has been a new bill passed that is temporary. However, it allows those teachers that are retired to come and be substitutes if they want to, and it will not affect their pension in any way. So if they are in retirement and they're looking to fulfill some type of position, we would love to have you. Please reach out to Gina Fresco or myself. I know that there's staffing concerns all across the nation, and New Jersey has allowed this for temporarily, at least at this point, so we can get some staffing needs filled.
I'm sorry, real quick. You said bill? It's a bill?
Yeah, yes.
So it hasn't been
It's
approved?
passed, yeah,
Oh, they passed it.
but it's a temporary one. I'm not sure when it expires. I can get you some more information. We have our data in, and Ms. Frasca was extremely excited today because our junior high students are doing amazing on our initial data. We had some students actually go from a resource room level to honors classes. So we're just thrilled with this, and she's going to be presenting all of this next month. We are really grateful for that shared articulation with the elementary district, the 6th grade, that we can really build programs for our students in the junior high that are being beneficial. So way to go to our teachers and our students. School-based youth services is going to be having a little 35 years party tomorrow. It is virtual. It takes place at 4 o'clock. If you want information, I have the flyer here, and you can also contact school-based youth services and you can participate virtually on that. The last thing I have is we are launching our Here to Help program in both Pinelands and Little Egg. So if you go on the Pinelands website under community, there's a tab that says Here to Help. We have a logo that was actually designed by one of our students. And you'll see a very long list of all of the programs and support services that we offer to our families. It's not only school related. It could be something that someone might need in their home. They might need help with, getting food in the home or something, some other service, mental health services. So we really do have a lot of things to offer in the school district for families, and we want to make sure that everyone is aware. So what we're also going to be doing is putting together little commercials that showcase all of the wonderful things that we're doing in the school districts, whether it's academic, whether it's mental health, or whatever the case may be. So we are ensuring that everybody knows what's happening in the school districts. So we do have our first one. They're usually going to be about 1 to 2 minutes. This one's a little longer. So if you could focus your attention to the back. I apologize, this isn't working, but we're going to show you our clip.
I am one of the assistant principals at Pinelands Regional High School, and one of my roles is to oversee the student success team.
The Student Success Team at Pinelands Regional High School is a program created to help our students, whether they are struggling academically or behaviorally. We get to create custom plans for them that help them in their academic courses as well as throughout their high school career.
First thing that we do is we complete an assessment of lagging skills, and we're able to identify specific needs where our students are struggling. We then meet with our students and we come up with an action plan on things that will help benefit them, whether it's emotional regulation, whether it's academically or behaviorally. We then put all of these supports and interventions in place, and then we progress monitor our students to see what's working and what might need to get changed. We include the guidance counselors, the nurse, we have an ELA intervention specialist, we have a math intervention specialist, and also a mental health consultant. We also include the teachers who work with the at-risk students.
As a member of the Student Success Team, I'm in charge of helping children catch up on their math work. In light of COVID and all the things that children have been through over the past 2 years, I have found that they're missing some foundational skills in math. So they meet with me during their mentor period. Sometimes I go into their classrooms and help them. But I'm here to make sure that they're successful in their math journey in high school.
I am the ELA intervention specialist, which means I get to hone in on the ELA courses, grades 9 through 12. So whether our students are in CP courses all the way up to AP courses, if they're struggling academically in those ELA classes, they get to come to me and I can help them out.
At Pinelands, we've just created such a wonderful place for them to feel successful and celebrate those little tiny wins of even coming to school for 4 days in a row. That's a big thing for some kids.
We've seen a lot of students start off the year struggling in their academic courses and be able to thrive by the end of it because they're able to get their specific needs met.
I am Amy Nass.
I am Jamie Lee McKee.
I'm Sarah O'Neill.
We are the Student Success Team.
We are the Student Success Team.
We are the Student Success Team.
And we are here to help.
We're here to help.
We're here to help.
That's one of many videos you're going to be seeing, whether we have them at board meetings or they're going to be accessible on the website. we really want to showcase how amazing our school districts are. I want to thank the teachers and the amazing students and Miss Barr for putting that production together. She's amazing as well. But look forward to seeing a lot more of those. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Next, I give you the budget public hearing presentation by Nicholas Brown.
I think you were going to allow the student ambassadors to go first, right?
Yep.
And then you're going to go after that. We're going to do the student, I'm sorry. we're
That's
gonna do them
okay.
First.
Good evening. It is really an honor and a privilege to be with these two amazing women here tonight. They are two of our senior student ambassadors, and they have just set the bar so high. They're just phenomenal, and the work that they've been doing has been phenomenal. And we're really excited to share that with you today. Just to give you, I'm going to just touch briefly, because I'm going to let these two ladies take over. We launched the Student Ambassador Program this year. So this is our first year fully implementing the program. It's actually a freshman transition program. It started as that, and it's really moved into a Student Ambassador Program. So the Freshman Transition Program is a national program, and it's really designed to help incoming freshmen to transition into the high school experience. And we really identified a need of our students, especially after coming off of 18 months for some of our students who have never been in the building. They hadn't been with their peers. So we identified a need that we're going to need peers to help our kids this year. So it kind of launched us into our transition program. I'm going to turn it over from here so they can tell you some of the highlights of our program and some of the tremendous work that they have been doing this year. But let me first thank Miss Sarah Abatello. She is our coordinator for the Freshman Transition Program and the Student Ambassador Program. She is a counselor with our SBYS, and she has just done an amazing job putting this together and shaping this into a program that really has been successful in the first year. And also I'd like to recognize Miss McKee, Miss Smith, and Miss Barreca. There are three of our freshman transition coordinators who have also worked closely with us to help this program to be successful. So I'm going to turn it over.
So just to introduce ourselves, my name's Sophia Kirby. We're both seniors. This is
Tori Dime, also senior.
So here's our program recap for the year 2021 to 2022. So the Student Ambassador Program is a new program at Pinelands. Our goal is to pair our ninth graders with upperclassmen, usually juniors or seniors, to make the transition into high school the best it can be. So here's a recap of our amazing year.
And just to add, we had 30 student ambassadors this year, and that was a mix between our juniors and our seniors.
So just some of the things we were able to do this year, we were able to complete our ambassador training program at the end of last school year. We were able to do a freshman orientation camp, which was such a fun time. It was a 2-day camp, and they came here and we played a bunch of games. Then we did a Wildcat welcome wagon. We drove a school bus around town, like honking at people's houses and giving them merch. It was awesome. And we've had super fun monthly outreach sessions with our individual group of freshmen.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is our ambassador training camp. At our training camp, we learned all about being an ambassador because this was our first year. We kind of got introduced to how things would be. We explored different ways to help out our freshmen and completed a bunch of fun team building activities. And it was a super fun day. So there's a few pictures there of us all kind of together, did a lot of bonding experiences.
So here's a recap of the freshman orientation camp. It was a super awesome 2-day event where we helped our incoming freshmen get to know the school, and we participated in some team building activities. We did a lot of games with water, and we had a huge bouncy castle. It was awesome. We made tie-dye shirts. We did color wars, and we had groups, and we played all these games, and it was an outdoor field day. So there's some pictures of the outdoor field day, and that's all the ambassadors to the right in a big selfie there.
Okay, our Wildcat welcome wagon. This one was probably my favorite. It was really fun. It was our new tradition to welcome incoming freshmen. So a spirited group of student ambassadors, we loaded onto a school bus and went all around several homes around town, around the community. And we gave the students a warm Wildcat welcome. So we played music, we had noisemakers, silly string, and even a goodie bag with a donut and some awesome Wildcat gear. The freshmen loved it and the ambassadors had a blast too.
So for our monthly outreach sessions, so each month, the ambassadors have a scheduled date to go and spend time, complete an interactive and fun activity, or just bring a snack to a group of freshmen. So to clarify that, we were all assigned a group of about like 20 freshmen and we were with a partner. So and that's their like mentoring period. So we'd go in and play games or bring them candy and goodie bags. We decorated cookies one month. So this is a time where students were able to ask any questions and we were able to help them. In the beginning of the year, there was a lot of questions about like how things work and like where things are, which was really, I think it was a great thing for the freshmen, just to kind of help transition, and they had a lot of fun.
Okay, so our future plans. We have 14 graduating seniors this year. So we're really excited to welcome our newest class of student ambassadors. We are having a training day on June 2nd, and we're very excited to be continuing this program and can't wait to see the awesome things that will be accomplished by this amazing group of students.
Those are just all the seniors. There's 2 slides. We had everyone submit a picture, so.
We would also just like to thank Miss Nass especially. She's been really great, and of course Miss A as well as just the board for supporting us, our administration, everybody who's just been really great with it. So thank you guys.
Our ambassadors have not only served as peer leaders to our freshmen, but they've taken on quite a few roles within our school. They welcome vendors who are coming for job fairs. They give tours of the building to parents. They're here on back to school night representing clubs. So they've really taken on a much larger role than we initially thought, but it's been amazing to work with them. And I'm really excited to say we have 50 student ambassadors signed up for next year. And I have no doubt this group will do an amazing job passing the torch and getting our newest group of ambassadors ready for next year. So it's been a great program. And I just thank the administration when we came up with the idea. It was like, let's go for it and let's get this in place. And I thank you so much for the support of our administration and our board, and mostly these kids who just have done a great job reaching out to kids who really just needed a peer to run some things by and to help. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Aim.
Swing this way so I can stare at this presentation while I give it to you. Thank you very much, Ms. Nass and the student ambassadors. That was awesome. These guys continue to impress us all the time. So I always start this off with the same joke every year. Everybody buckle in. The next 2 hours, we're going to go through the general fund budget. Sorry. All right, yeah, slays every year. All right, first of all, I just want to take a moment to thank the Board of Education for their support during the budget process. In particular, Ms. Betty M. McVeigh, Greg Bartlett, Ms. Lisa Betty, and Shannon Zimmerman, who were on the Budget and Finance Committee this year, and all the members of the Board of Education. Thank you for your input and support through the process. I did this last time, and I'll remind everybody again, we have about 375,000 square feet of space under our roofs at the junior high, the senior high, and the admin building. That's an incredible amount of space that needs to be cared for, and it's surrounded by almost 42 acres of land on the 2 campuses. So we have a tremendous footprint that, as a school district, that we care for and try to upkeep, maintain, and improve upon annually. In addition to that building, the more important thing is our staff. We have 170 certified staff members, 90 support staff members, and almost 270 full-time staff members in district. This is a quick snapshot of the 22-23 budget. Upper left-hand corner, you see general fund total expenditures are just over $36.5 million. We anticipate revenues of about 14.8 million. So the taxes to be raised for general fund expenditures is the difference between those two numbers, $21.7 million. Our special revenues, we anticipate 1.27 million. We always build our expenditures to match our grant revenues. We don't raise money for taxes to support grant revenue. Our debt service, the $53 million referendum project that completed in 2019, we pay bonds on that debt service. Those bond payments this year are a little over $3.5 million. We get 1.249 million from the state of New Jersey in something called debt service aid. The difference is the amount to be raised by taxes for debt service. And in the far right column, you see total expenditures just over 41 million with a balance to be raised by taxes of just over 24 million. It's important to remember that, think about that 24 million to get raised by taxes, because this is how we chop it up. Every year, the state gives us something called an apportionment formula, and that tells us what each of Pineland's sending districts has to pay of that $24 million. So Little Egg Harbor pays 75%, Tuckerton pays 12%, and Eagleswood and Bass River both pay about 6.5%. So we take that total amount to be raised by taxes, we multiply it by the percentage for each municipality, and that's how much in your regional tax that you're charged at the municipal level. So when we look at our total revenues for the district, we really fall into three buckets. Our local tax levy is about 60% of our levy, our total revenue, a big chunk from state aid this year, and then 7%. This number changes a little bit every year, but this is our fund balance, interest, miscellaneous revenues, other sources of revenue that we have, and that number can fluctuate a little bit year to year. I talked briefly about the state aid. We are finally, since my first time joining Pinelands, a winner in the state aid, the annual state aid game. This is because we participated in a regionalization study. This is also because our enrollment is recovering pretty well since Sandy over the last couple of years. So the plus side, we were a little over $700,000 more in aid this year than the prior year, with one caveat: that extraordinary aid at the bottom, that $625,000 is a projected number. We won't get that actual number from the state until early July. I took a snapshot of our different departmental expenses and showed the current year's expenses and compared them to the projected expenses next year. Two, I wanted to bring to your attention. One, capital outlay. Last year, we only laid out about $13,000 of our capital, but this year we have a much more significant number. The public should be aware. What we're planning on doing is repaving a parking lot. We have other improvements doing around the district, including putting a sign out front of a new sign out front of the high school. So hopefully the parking lot goes through. You may have seen the cost of petroleum is skyrocketing, and the cost to do this repair is also skyrocketing. So we're going to go through that process a little bit. That one could get held off a little bit longer. In addition, I also highlighted payroll. You see an increase of almost over 1.2 million in anticipated payroll expenses. This includes projections to resolve our unsettled collective bargaining agreements. When we look at our proposed expenses, I like everybody to see this sort of the 10,000 foot view. 55% of our total expenditures are salary, 20% is benefits. So 75% of Pinelands Regional's total budget is salary and health benefits for staff. That's not uncommon. That's fairly average for districts around New Jersey. And you can see other select areas that we pointed out what percentage of the total budget some of these other expenses make up. And we talk a little bit about the tax impact. So you'll look at these, and every one of them in the middle slide, you'll see an italicized number. That represents the average home price in each of the municipalities. So in Little Egg Harbor, the average home price is $201,793,000. Last year, you would have been assessed $1,400 in your regional school tax. This year, you would be assessed $1,413. So a difference or an increase of $13 on the average assessed home in Little Egg Harbor. Another way to look at this, if your house is not worth that amount, you're trying to do the math, take the top row. For every $100,000 of assessed value, you will be charged $700 assessed $700 in regional taxes. And next, we'll look at Tuckerton, same math. Middle line, the average home value is $218,300. You will see a difference of $144 versus the prior year. So per 100,000, you will be assessed $618 in regional school tax. In Eagleswood, per 100,000, you will be assessed $604 in regional tax. For the average homeowner in Eagleswood, that's a change of about $7. And for Bass River, where the average home is $216,536, you'll see a decrease of $128 for the average assessed home. So it'll go down about $59 for every 100,000 of assessed value. So That's an overview of the 22-23 budget. Just so you guys know, we submitted this after the March meeting of the Board of Education. This budget was submitted to the Executive County Superintendent, where it was reviewed and approved in April. The next step for the budget process is to open this up so our admin team and everybody else can start spending money for next school year and preparing for next year. And I want to, again, thank the Board of Education and the admin team for your collaboration. It's always a fun process going through the budget. So thank you guys very much. I want to open the floor to questions to the board, public. You guys are too kind. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Mr. Brown, moving on, we have the board forum. Does any of our board members
I
have
think
any
we have
questions?
the calendar first.
You want to do the calendar before the board forum?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm misreading. It's my fault.
That's
Go ahead,
all
I'm
right.
so sorry.
That's all right. We're all friends here. Board forum. Any board members have anything they'd like to discuss at this point? Any issues or concerns or questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to new business because there's calendars or chafing at the bit here. to talk
It's
about.
very important business. So this is for discussion and you can always send me feedback afterwards. I wanted to point out the two calendars that are linked there is a proposed calendar for Pinelands for next year. The other one is Little Legs proposed calendar that has not been approved yet. That'll go on the agenda for tomorrow evening. So if you were to open Little Legs, there is one slight change that was proposed already by a board member. We have decided to stagger the days that may be snow days. So for Little Leg, you would see like one in March, one in April, and one in February. One of the board members had suggested make those all different days. So one on Tuesday, one on a Wednesday, one on a Thursday, which is well. And the reason we came up with this format was I surveyed the parents in Little Leg first, and then I surveyed the teachers to see what they preferred, whether we should add days to the end of the year or stagger them throughout or put them around Memorial Day. And the reason I did that primarily there is because they're the ones that have more of a difficulty with childcare. So this was the most voted on format to stagger them one a month. And then if it snows, you use the day. If not, you have the day off. So the reason I'm bringing this to your attention is Pinelands traditionally put their snow days around Memorial Day. And that's how the format is here. It's fine to do it differently. I just wanted to point out that the calendars would be different. The other thing is on the Pinelands one, you're still going to see delayed openings for professional development, whereas we remove those in Little Leg. Once again, it's hard for families to get childcare. So we added a professional day in another place, and that was agreed upon with the association. So that would be different. I don't know if we could actually do the delayed openings at Pinelands if Little Leg doesn't have them as well because of busing. So that may have to change as well. So I'll update you on that. But I wanted to give you the two drafts. If anything is alarming as you're looking at them, just give me some feedback. It's in draft form at this point. And as I said, it still has to be approved tomorrow evening at Little Leg. But they really, they have different needs there because the children are younger. And then, of course, we can't tack snow days on at the end of the year at Pinelands because of graduation. All right, so whenever you want, just offer some feedback.
Thank you. Moving on to old business. Do we have any old business that we need to discuss?
Evaluations for the superintendent, is that old business or new?
Well, that's actually probably new business. So if you'd
Okay,
like to
so we'll
talk about
keep
that.
it on new
We're
business.
still
Okay.
on new business.
So I
Thank
did
you, sir.
ask, I was asked to handle the evaluations, so I'm here to ask the board when they think they could get around to it. It doesn't look like anyone started unless they started in the last couple days. You did?
I actually did, and I had some questions. I was first off having trouble logging in. Once I
can get you through all that.
got through that.
Okay.
But then when I went to click the link to the, I'm not sure.
It's the document that has all the supporting
the
evidence.
supporting- the
Yes.
Supporting document, I was denied access.
All
I
right,
wasn't
so
able to look at that.
I'll make sure that you're shared on that
Okay.
because I know the previous board members were, and then make sure that when you're clicking it, it's not defaulting to another email address, like your private email address. But I will make sure that because I didn't get a notice that you were looking for access, but I will double check that.
I don't.
Like you
I
can't
just
be in, like
locked
if
out.
you're.
I didn't request. I didn't-
Okay, I'll make sure that you're shared on that. Yes.
So what she means too about the Gmail is, I mean, the email, if you just want to be in
My
the
school
one
board
thing.
account is my P Martin.
Same, okay.
Okay. It should be fine then. I'll just make sure that you're shared on that.
Okay, thank you.
So we need to, so the process is basically you guys take a certain amount of time to finish them. I can tell you as a board member who's been doing this a while, it's really good to read the questions first because you end up kind of repeating yourself otherwise, because they sort of sound the same, but they're not. So you want to read the questions first. You want to kind of sit down and kind of bang it out if you can, but if you can't, that's not a problem. But I just need a kind of timeline on how long you need to do this, because we actually have to come back and do 2 executives. So we do 1 executive. Melissa's Rice, of course, Dr. McCooley's Rice for both, but we meet with us as a group and then we meet again to discuss it. And then a couple of us, and I'm thinking Christy, but maybe not. She said she would do it. When I was asked to do it, I just asked Christy because she's been on the longest. So, but I need someone else to help me. You know, basically what we do then is take the majority opinion and write a piece and then sit down with Melissa and go over it. So it's really about like, how much time do you have in the next 2 weeks? Can you bang it out in 2 weeks?
Well, next month is May, so you.
Well,
Yeah, it's gotta be
the May
quick.
meeting is
So you
Tuesday,
need
May
that
7th.
meeting to get it done, to start the process in May and then finish it by June. So you could sit with the
We have to
superintendent.
finish it by the June 30th date.
Yeah, you have
correct?
to have, you have to have it done by the end of June.
Yeah, the end of.
Contractually, you have. to.
So I mean, it really, I'm just asking just because I can start looking for
So,
that.
I just,
So,
you know, the
I mean,
board should be able to be ready by next month, just get online, have that part done.
I agree.
By
Yeah.
what day?
So how about we
Oh, yeah,
say
the
2
superintendent.
weeks and then if you need more time, just email me. How's that?
Once you guys do it, then she can.
Yeah, I'll
pull
know
all
that
the-
you did it as well. So I'll be able to see that. So, and if you're halfway done, that's great. If you have any questions, please ask, you know, anybody who's been on the board, you can ask Melissa. She certainly gives lots of information for you to read through. So, any questions? No.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Kim, and thanks for taking that on. Much appreciated. All right, moving on to old business. Do we have any old business to discuss? Seeing none, we'll move on to residents forum, agenda items only. Board policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on agenda items. Anyone from the public like to address the agenda?
And a reminder that you can also ask questions on the budget at this point.
Hello, my name is Michelle Collins Davies, and I'm here tonight because my questions and concerns are routinely not addressed clearly. When my son with Down syndrome first came to Pinelands from Little Egg, his special education classroom was refreshingly located in a hallway with a variety of other classrooms and students in the junior high. In elementary school, the special education classes were mostly placed in one hallway. Since Pinelands has changed to shared services administration and hired the principal from Frog Pond, the special ed classrooms of many of the most significantly challenged disabled students, ages 14 to 21, have been relocated into the annex, a separate and segregated building. The only special education students are educated in the annex. No general education students are educated in that building. It is my sincere belief that this stigmatizes the special education students and teaches their fellow students that special ed students are to be kept separate, much like society has historically institutionalized and segregated this population. This is especially concerning since the segregation began in the fall of 2020, at the same time that New Jersey Bill S-1569 was approved and put into effect for the 2021 school year. The bill requires boards of education to include instruction and adopt instructional materials that accurately portray political, economic, and social contributions of persons with disabilities. I hope the board has data on how the incorporation of the disabled into the curriculum has been implemented. The culture seems to have digressed. Separate building, segregated bus pickup and drop-offs. When addressed repeatedly with the administration, They feel the practice is acceptable, it's not segregation, and they can't see the segregation that they are perpetrating. Our concerns routinely fall on deaf ears with the shared and overextended special education leadership. The director has responsibilities unrelated to special ed, as is clear in the job description in tonight's agenda, in addition to oversight of 2 districts' special education programs. It is not working effectively. Emails take days and weeks to answer. Caseworkers and teachers have become less efficient because they don't get quick answers to questions. Since having a shared director, Dr. McCooley can attest to the fact that I've had to copy her a number of times on emails I have not gotten answers to, and then once I copy her, I get answers. There have been cuts to special ed services, new models that deliver services like speech only 3 times a month. That might have been 2 times a week, every month of the year, regardless of the student's progress on their IEP goals. And that's really important. They might be just progressing, not mastering anything, but they have been cut. My son is one of those students. And the discrepancy model to determine special ed eligibility, I understand that those scores have been changed, so less students are eligible. That's for the board to find out. I don't know the details, but that's what I've been told. And I believe that this is a disservice to our students. We have many talented special ed teachers that have left the district for other positions since shared services have began. I am one voice among many families who I know feel just as passionately as I do about these issues, but are too exhausted trying to navigate through a system that is meant to help, but is giving families the runaround while they care for their loved ones. We need our own special education administration. Shared is not working for students, teachers, staff, or parents. And I love Sam's shirt that says inclusion everywhere, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think the most productive thing to do at this point with Ms. Davies' concerns is I will have Ms. Lichtenwalner listen back to the tape and address all of her concerns in an email back to Ms. Davies, and she can copy the board on that. Of course, you couldn't hit reply all because we can't conduct board business via email, but I can assure you that Ms. Lichtenwalner has corresponded with Ms. Davies numerous times about her numerous concerns. And yes, she does keep me in the loop, and I appreciate that. But I think that putting that out to the board and addressing all of her concerns, everyone will be on the same page. Please know that all of the programs that Ms. Lichtenwalner has started here, the 18 to 21 program is new, and that has been approved by the county. So we are in compliance with county regulations. And of course, we want all of our students to be happy and successful. But I would like Ms. Lichtenwalner to take the time and make sure that Ms. Davies' concerns are all addressed in writing, so she'll get that to you as soon as possible.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to address the board on agenda items only? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 10, instructional. I would like a motion to approve items A through H.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any questions?
All right, this is a roll call vote. Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes, but I need to abstain from item E.
item E. Your abstention is noted, thank you. Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin, Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to item number 11, personnel. We need a motion to approve items A through R.
Motion.
Can we have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Another roll call vote. Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh.
Yes, and I will abstain on item I.
Your abstention is noted, thank you. The motion carries.
Moving on to operations, we need a motion to approve item A through F.
Motion.
We need a second.
Second.
Any questions?
Roll call vote, Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes, and I will abstain from 12F.
your abstention is noted. Thank you. Mr. Dalio
Yes.
and Mrs. McVeigh.
Yes.
Those motions carry.
Item number 13, report of the board secretary, business administrator. We need a motion to approve items A through L.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Roll call vote, Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Ms. Hannadel,
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Rosetti,
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
and Mrs. McVeigh.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Moving on to item number 15, residents forum for general topics. Board policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a reasonable time limit when commenting on any topic. Anyone from the public wish to address the board on general topics? Henry, you got anything to say on that? No? Okay, just checking. All right, then we'll move on to board forum. Mama Zimmerman?
Yes, thank you. I do want to say congratulations. I believe our junior high National Honor Society kids received their acceptance, so congratulations to all of those kids. And I also just wanted to say, I thought the Student Ambassador Program presentation was simply amazing tonight. That was fantastic. And they answered my question of how many people for next year, and hearing that there are already 50 is phenomenal. So it made my night seeing that presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Rosetti?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Nass and the student ambassadors. It sounds like a wonderful program, the student ambassadors. I just want to say thank you to Nick and the budget team for always working so hard with all those numbers. It's incredible how you do that. And good luck to the AP students on their AP tests. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bartlett?
Same. It's great to hear the reports from the kids and yes, also Nick, thank you for all that hard work and everybody else that helped out with it too. I was not able to make all those meetings, but it was great, the ones that I was able to make. So thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Hannadel?
Yes, ditto on all of that. The ambassadors were amazing. And also thank you to our alumni, Gaten Matarazzo, for his donation. And I wanted to just add something as well. There's a very verbal group on Facebook. It's a small handful of disgruntled people who keep the conversation in the negative. We get a lot of letters that Melissa cannot read except to us. She can share it with us, but I would love to see more people comment on Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat. There's got to be so many parents who are very happy because I hear very few complaints and it's changed so much in 5 years. I just think it's such a positive thing. I think shared services, not to say anything against the people who spoke, but shared services has been amazing because it's brought things to our students and to the Tuckerton School and other schools that they wouldn't have had, and the service is already shared. It's just that we get to have extra people who already are tested, who we know what they're going to cost, we know what they're going to be able to do. We see amazing success with shared services. I just think that if we could have more comments that are really great about Pinelands, whether it's something Melissa can read in public, or it's on Facebook, or it's, whatever it could be, I would really encourage the majority, the 99% out there who are pretty happy with Pinelands and the changes that have been made over the last few years. So that was it.
Thank you very much. Ms. Betty?
Just to repeat, good luck to the AP students, the student ambassador program, this is the first I've heard of that. That's amazing. And the fact that it's gonna grow like this is, I know freshmen get here and I remember my kids being freshmen, it's rough. So congratulations, that was well done. Thank you.
Ms. Martin?
Yes, it was great hearing about all the students and their involvement with the job fair. I just thought that was wonderful. I heard a lot of great things about it, and I've also heard quite a few actually have summer jobs because of it, and that's wonderful. To the student ambassadors, granted it was 4 years later, but to this day, I could tell you the name Maria DiPaolo, the student ambassador when I was a freshman in college. And we've kept in touch all these years later, but she was vital to my success. I mean, absolutely. It's a great program that you've started. And, you know, if you're seniors, I have no doubt that you'll be able to carry that through into your college career. The additional scholarships I've read about that we received, again, thank you to the community members. And I don't know if I'll have this opportunity again, but I would just like to tell the seniors how proud I am of just my few months on the board, just what you've accomplished, just what great people, human beings you are. I wish you to be well, to be safe, and have tons of fun these last few months because you're a great group of kids. But don't.
Thank you. Mr. Dahlia?
Yeah, just a couple things. I would like to thank Nick on his budget presentation. Also, I believe, what is it? Is it you three that were on the committee? Right here? Mr. Rossetti, you're on the committee?
Ray, Shannon, Lisa.
Okay, all right, well, okay.
Betty.
Well, thank you for doing that. It's a long process. I've been through it, so I appreciate your helping the board. The Student Ambassador Program, I mean, that is an amazing thing, and to see what they're doing. Amy Ness, thank you very much for all your hard work on that. I think it's amazing. I really don't have much more, but that's it. See everybody next month.
Thank you very much. I'd like to wish School-Based Youth Services a happy 35th birthday. 35 years, that's amazing. And what also is amazing is what they do for our students and our community. It's a great program and we are so lucky to have them. The Student Ambassador Program and Ms. Nass, what a great presentation. And part of that is the fact that the 9th grade students are back over here at the high school level. When I first got on the board many moons ago, the 9th grade students were housed over at the junior high school. And it took Melissa coming on board to make that happen, have the 9th grade students come back over here at the high school. It's such an important thing. They're high school students, they're freshmen. They should be housed in the high school building. So I'm really glad that that is going so well. I'd like to congratulate all the spring sports. They're all busy, the tennis and the lacrosse and softball and baseball, track. If I left any out, I'm sorry. It's so nice to see the campus hustling and bustling with all the kids playing sports. Again, a reminder, we have the local soccer club participating at our fields because their fields are under construction. And this place is really busy at night. I appreciate getting the blinking lights on. I noticed that when I was coming from the softball field back over to the meeting tonight. Whatever we can do just to slow people down and make sure they know that there are little people who are all excited about playing. They can't wait to run across the street to get to the field. So slow down on Nugent Town if you can. And with that, I'll ask for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? That motion carries. Reminder to the public that the next meeting of the Board of Education is Tuesday, May 16th, regular session, 5:30 p.m. in this room. See you then. Thanks for joining us tonight.